All right, feel free to join in. I'm just going to do my little warm up.
Yep.
Liquid granular, liquid granular, liquid granular, soil wetter, soil wetter. Pretty much it.
I'll see you later. I hope I was in shot for that.
Oh, I was planning that.
I dare you, I dare you. I dare you to do that as you're opening and I'll go, rightio, I'm out of here.
Rightio, g'day guys and welcome to a new video. Familiar face if you are a lawn care nuffy in Australia like myself, or across the world really.
Across the world, don't limit yourself.
People from everywhere. So if you're not familiar, this is Brenton from the Aussie Lawn and it's been really good. You're down here in Victoria hanging out at the Melbourne International Flower and Garden Show. So that's been a lot of fun over the last few days.
It's been hectic, it's been a lot of fun. First time in Melbourne.
Gloomy, nice gloomy weather for you yesterday.
Four seasons
last
in
couple
one
of
day.
Days were perfect, weren't they?
Yesterday, got to be honest, it was quite a nice day.
It was beautiful. So yeah, look, we're out here on my front lawn today, sussing it out. We're looking to give it its first mow. And my last video was talking about trying to overseed it, talking about the state of play of where things are at. So maybe if we go for a bit of a wander, have a look around at where things are at as of now, because it's been a few days since that last update in that video. And maybe just from our chats we've had, you watching my videos sometimes now?
Yep. Do you do videos?
Awkward. And maybe just talk about your impression of where things are at. So here's definitely my best section, isn't it, in terms of rye coverage. Like some of these areas through here are quite nice. What do you think about the 300mm kike there?
It's very impressive. I'm just looking for the herd, mate. Where's the herd?
Yeah, bring the cows in. I've been saving it for you. I didn't want to do anything to it until you could be here for it too.
I'm impressed.
So you've had some very successful rye overseeds in the past. Was it last year I think you did your front? It was looking quite nice.
It's been a couple of years now since I've done one. I did one at a mate's place a few years ago. However, when I fly out of here, I fly out of here tomorrow morning. I start my rye overseed this week.
Yep.
So I'm going to do one again. Yeah.
So yeah, timing wise for me was one where I ended up, you know, the weather just didn't let up, and I think of the first 16 or so days, it was like 10 or 11 were over 30 and some of them mid to high 30s. So yeah, just irrigation and that sort of thing. So for you, your dream scenario, so your climate is a bit warmer and drier than mine.
Bit warmer, bit drier, bit sunnier.
So you're automatically got a bit of a longer growing season, renovation windows and all that sort of thing.
Correct.
So for you, what is your dream scenario in terms of timing on the calendar and preparation? Obviously mine's been a bit different because I was trying to kill the Kikuyu, which we can talk about as well. But what's your dream scenario in your climate?
So for me in my climate, so I'm from the Hunter Valley in New South Wales. I normally look to do things around the end of March, early April. So normally that first weekend in April would be a general benchmark for people south of Queensland, let's include Victoria into the mix for that, to do a winter rye oversow, or in your case, just a temporary ryegrass plantation, if you will, preparing for your new lawn that's coming this way in a little bit of time. But basically what we'll be looking at doing is, if we get really high extreme temperatures, we want to make sure we can keep the water up to that, because if we don't, we're going to get really poor germination. Seed will germinate and just won't have enough moisture for it to develop into something satisfactory. So key would be moisture, and just those extreme temperatures need to be finished with. So anything north of 30 is not ideal unless you've got good water, etc. So yeah, that's it. Like I think I was probably tricked into it. We've had a couple of milder summers the last couple, so I was like, you know, mid-Feb, and sort of I wanted to in any case get my rye down to have a good crack at it. Prior to remodeling this front you're on
yard.
a deadline too.
Yeah, I am. So I the plan was to have some nice rye for 2 or 3 months, and in the end some of the timelines of actually doing all this work is going to be brought forward as well. So my time frame to actually in the end have a nice rye lawn has been stuffed around a bit, but in terms of that timing, getting into March, make sure some of those 30s are out of the way, or 30 pluses.
The real high, if it starts with a 2, you're good to go.
And now we've got another spot here with some really healthy Kikuyu. So I like, definitely the way I sprayed out my Kikuyu out the back was a bit more of a thorough job, and I did half-ass it a bit on the front. So tell me, if you were trying to spray out kike, where would you be starting and what would you do in what order? Yeah, rightio. So for me, if it were me doing this, the first thing I'd be doing is obviously an application of a glyphosate product. And then from there on in, once we get a kill, I'd be inclined to go and get yourself some urea, which is a granular fertilizer. I'd apply it as a granule, and I would water that in. Now what that's going to do is encourage
any of the rhizomes, in other words, the underground runners of this grass, to pop back up, then I would give a second application of the glyphosate.
How far apart each one?
I'd probably say 2 weeks.
Yep.
Yep, I'd probably spray, then wait 2 weeks. I'd apply some fertilizer.
Yep.
I'd water it, really trying to stimulate anything that's in the soil to start growing.
Yep.
Right, and then I'd spray it again.
Yep.
And then that should be enough. You shouldn't have to fertilize and repeat again. That should exhaust everything that's in the ground that you don't want there.
Yeah, that's it. So my missing step was fertilizing in between, and I did a week, and then a week later, 2 lots of glyphosate, and then a week after that is when I scalped and scarified. So it's pretty impressive to have the kayak this long, 6 weeks after a heavy scalp and scarify when it was already pretty unhealthy, let alone after glyphosate. Like, I'm pretty frustrated with that, to have so much regrowth. It just shows you the power. People who think, you know, oh, can you scalp your lawn? I'm worried to scalp.
Hasn't died.
I scalped
hasn't died
with some glyphosate fertilizer. So getting that Kikuyu though, getting the growth, get a better kill.
Absolutely, because it's going to encourage everything to come up.
Yep.
The plant's going to be active, and it's really going to be taking in chemical.
Yep.
So there's the keys, there's the water, there's the chemical, and obviously still the warmth and the sunshine. You're going to get a good result.
Well, at least I'm still coming through with an excavator, so it hasn't been.
It'll be fine. See, people.
Good lesson.
People really think you cannot eradicate Kikuyu or cooch once it's there, and it's not the case. With steps like that, even if you had to do it 2 applications of fertilizer. Give yourself enough time, you'll get rid of it. It's not the scary thing that people think it is.
Yep. Well, out the back I went glyphosate, dig it up with excavator, urea, glyphosate, maybe glyphosate again. So yeah, the digging part of the process in there as well is when I did the urea. But anyway, let's mow it.
Let's get rid of it.
Let's mow it. Now, I did sort of say words to this effect in my last video, is that it is definitely this project not going to plan, which is disappointing, because I did confidently say to you on the phone a while ago, oh, when you're here, I'll be renting a cylinder mow. And
we'll be all set.
Look, I think it's maybe good to still put it out there. It would be nice from some perspective to just hide away and not talk about it.
I actually think it's really good, because too often you see everything on YouTube is just perfect.
That's it.
Things don't always go to plan.
Yep, so I've had a manual watering system out here. Yep, too early to do it in the end. So yeah, lesson learnt from that perspective. And
it would have been harder for you because you didn't have the automatic irrigation. So as we talked about earlier in the video, having the irrigation saves you a lot of manual labour, a lot of time, and it enables you probably could have had a better success rate
for sure
earlier on, because one hot day, one afternoon, you miss that crucial watering, the seed's gone, it's not going to come back.
And that's where I think as well, you know, having kids, having other projects like doing my back lawn mini reno in there and the heat, it just hasn't worked out. So anyway, I would have loved to have been getting a cylinder mower on here with you for this video. But anyway, now in terms of where it is at right now, so we do have germination pretty much everywhere, even in the spots that look dodgy on camera or that are a bit bare, there is germination there. So if I handed you the keys and you were moving into this house tomorrow and you were like, right, this front lawn, what am I going to do with it? What would you be doing?
So for me, if it were me right now, now is the golden opportunity. As I said, I'm going to start my own overseed next week. So for today, for example, if we were going to do it right this second, I would basically grab a plastic rake. I would rake through, create some little fallows in the ground. I would oversow. Actually, let me just take one step back. The first thing I do is apply PGR. We need to stop that Kikuyu from growing. I wouldn't suggest at this point in time to spray it all out again with Roundup and start from scratch. I just think there's probably not a lot of point, because at the end of the day, this lawn's going in a few weeks' time anyway. So for us, what we do, we'd apply a PGR, which is a plant growth regulator. From there on in, then we would rake our soil, we'd apply some more seed. just a light roll with one of those water-filled rollers, and then keep it moist. Germination should be about 5 days' time, and within 2 weeks you'll be mowing. And then we're going to start also applying a granular fertilizer at the time of seeding, and then some liquids, probably stick along the organics as well. So your seaweed sort of products, and some liquid fertilizer, probably about the 1 month mark, I'd say.
Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, I'm at 5-ish weeks or so since seeding this, 5.5 weeks. So yeah, we might do that. We might have overlaid some clips in here by the time we sign off. But yeah, of just doing overseeding in a couple of little spots. My next video next week will probably be doing some liquid fertilizer out here and just trying to kick it along, and still make do with it, and still be able to probably show the process of still from this point. It will continue to improve. You mentioned when you came it was a bit dry out here, and so yeah, I still need to whip myself into shape of making sure it gets the water it needs. But yeah, definitely it's that consistency of products and getting some seed in there.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the theatrics of a ryegrass lawn are amazing, and they're well worth it, but it does take a little bit of setup to begin with.
Yep, 100%. Well, mate, thanks very much for mowing my lawn. That was
that's the only reason he's bought me here, is for free labour.
Brenton's mowing.
Unbelievable.
Oh, love it, mate.
I've got the FPOS machine in the car, and there is a Saturday surcharge.
Yeah, no, very good. Well, mate, we've got a few other things to record, so yeah, obviously haven't watched you on YouTube for a long time. It's pretty cool to have you here. Like I said, I wish we had been doing something a bit cooler, but that's all right. Appreciate you coming down, and we've got a few other things to record, but thanks very much. Thanks, guys, for watching. I guess I should say something like check out your channel.
If you want to.
Nah, don't. It's pretty crap.
It's crap.
Thanks, mate. And yeah, cheers.
Happy days.
Have a good one.
Cool.